What's going on, everybody? It's time again for another UFC full card breakdown. This time for UFC 325, headlined by Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes, getting his second shot at the title. Before we get started with the breakdown and the picks for the card, just want to mention that I do have a Tapology League. What is Tapology? It's this website I'm using to enter my picks for the card. And the Tapology League has some giveaways involved with it. We're going to be giving away $600 to people who follow the Tapology Leagues, $200 at the end of the year to the person with the most event wins. That Tapology League is in the description of my YouTube channel. Please go check that out. If you don't have a Tapology account, sign up for it. Super easy to make picks on. And then for channel members, if you are a member of the channel, we're giving away $400 to you guys every quarter. Whoever has the most event wins at the end of each quarter will receive $100. So super excited to be giving back to people of the YouTube channel for supporting me. So yeah, much appreciation to all of the channel members. So with all that out of the way, let's get to the picks. Nam Srai Bati Bayar versus Aaron Tao. This is at 125. Also, this is road to the UFC finals. The first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 fights on this card are actually part of. Sorry, yeah, 4 fights. Part of the UFC road to the UFC tournament. Kind of goes on for a while, and fights are really fun. But somebody who I have been largely unimpressed with is Aaron Tao. His record is 11-1, and the guy does come to fight. He's the guy that got cooked by Elijah Smith on Contender Series. Then he went to the road to the UFC thingy. He does have a KO over Rio Tirto in that tournament. But he had this decision win 4 months ago against Shuai Yin. I didn't really think he was. I don't know, man. I wasn't impressed with the performance. I thought he could have lost that fight. I could be misremembering it. The guy is fun enough, but he's 32. He's 5'4" at flyweight. Even for flyweight, he's a little bit undersized. His opponent, who, by the way, I don't even know who this is. I'm sure I watched him fight, but I mean, he's got submission wins. He's got a TKO win on the road to the UFC. He's been fighting in promotions I've never heard of. But this guy's on a finish streak. Aaron Tao, the only thing he really has going for him, he's got that dog in him. But I don't know. I don't. Again, not impressed with him. I know that he kind of looks cool. He's got that face tattoo, Maori style. He's a fun enough fighter. I just don't really think he's gonna win this fight here. He got incredibly busted up in his nose in his last fight, and I think that that's something that could reopen easily. I don't know if he had a broken nose off of that or what, but I'm pretty confident that the man from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, can get this one done. I don't know exactly how. Aaron Tao, though he does get hurt in fights, he's incredibly scrappy, like I said. Only has a decision loss in his career. Kind of old for a flyweight. I'll probably pick. Do we pick the finish streak of Bat Bayar to continue? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, but with a submission. I think Aaron Tao is pretty tough, so I'll pick 3rd round submission for Bat Bayar. But who knows? Maybe Aaron Tao being scrappy can he could outlast his opponent in this matchup. But by the way, good to see Sean Moody. He was here first. Good to see you, man. Good to see Kenny. Good to see Mr. C. Hope you guys are having a good week so far, and hope you guys are ready for the fights this weekend. All right. Sulang Rangbo versus Lawrence Liu. Louis? Hey, it's Louis. Oh, this is a bantamweight final for road to the UFC. God, these guys are not ringing a name to me. You've got a guy on a really nice run. He's had a decision win and a KO win on road to the UFC. He is a big favorite here, -225 from China. He's 20 years old, 5'9", 66.5-inch reach. Lawrence Liu, he seems more familiar to me. Plus 170 as the dog. 29 years old, 5'7", 72-inch reach, and he also trains at City Kickboxing. So, okay, he's got a W in Eternal, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a fight companion for Eternal this weekend. A decision and a KO win. This is a very interesting matchup. I mean, 20 years old. Finals of the Road to the UFC tournament. Pretty commendable for Mr. Sulang Arangbo. 10-3, another good record. I'm gonna definitely be picking the guy from City Kickboxing in this one. And again, I base that off of nothing but that he's from City Kickboxing. He's fought Eternal, a little more reputable of a league. I know nothing about either of these guys' games. I mean, if Lawrence is from CKB, then you can imagine he's got that slick kickboxing style. But again, I don't know enough about Salang Rangbo to make a confident pick on this fight. So next is Sebastian Cizali versus Kichiro Nakamura. This is a featherweight final. 10-1 is the record for Sebastian. He's minus 120. So this is damn near a pick'em. He's from Perth, 31 years old, 5'6", 66-inch reach. Kichiro is 7-1, undefeated in his last 5 fights. I don't know where that last loss took place, or his first loss. He fought a pound out before fighting in Road to the UFC, and he's got a KO and a decision. Let's check out Sebastian. Same thing, KO and a decision. 27 years old, 5'8". I mean, let's see where he's. Okay, another Eternal guy. Looks like he's had a lot of his fights in Eternal, but going to some close decisions in Eternal. Finally breaking that decision streak with a KO in his last fight. Pretty cool. I mean, he's a little undersized, and again, I don't know what Kichiro, like what his game is. He's got a lot more finishes in his last few fights. He is the younger of the two here at featherweight. So you basically go in experience over youth and possible KO power. I think I'm gonna pick Kichiro to continue his good streak. I'll pick him via second round KO again. These Road to the UFC guys, I don't know a lot about them. So these picks, kind of just take them with a grain of salt. If you guys are picking otherwise, I don't blame you. But we'll get into, the main portion of the card here shortly. Took away the blue wrench in favor of a blue shield. I thought that was kind of cool, actually. I guess they got tired of beating people over there with the wrench and decided to put us on the defense instead. Yeah, they should have at least gave you a wrench and a shield, but it is good to see you, Dirty Hippo. Okay, your last Road to UFC final. Dom Mar Fan versus Sang-Uk Kim, the man from South Korea. This is your lightweight final. Dude, look at this guy's look at these nicknames. Frogman versus Street Buddha. Fucking honestly, so rad. Dom Mar Fan on a 4-fight win streak, 8-2, minus 180 as the favorite, 25 years old, from Brisbane, 5'11" and a 75-inch reach. Sang-Uk Kim on a 4-fight win streak as well. He is plus 140 as the underdog, 32 years old, 6 foot tall, and a 71-inch reach. Let's take a look at Kim. So he actually fought in Road to the UFC 2 years ago, and he lost to Rong Zhu. Let's see. He hasn't fought in anything I've heard of, but he does have 2 back-to-back finishes in the tournament so far. Dalmar Fan last lost to Quillen Salkild, who is on this card in Eternal, and then had a KO in Eternal and a sub in Eternal. 2 back-to-back decision wins for him here in this tournament. I mean, 32-year-old South Korean. You guys know how I feel about South Korean MMA. I mean, I think that it's really been on the come up as of late with guys like Sok Hyung Kim, Sok Hyung Ko. That guy is really, really good, and he's the guy who last beat Oban Elliott. Super, super fun fighter. I think that with leagues like Black Combat paying fighters more, and obviously the very fun Road FC, I think that you're seeing a big improvement in South Korean MMA. Here at lightweight, though, I guess Sokon Ko is a welterweight, but I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and ride with Dalmar Fan. Again, I don't know much about their. I've never seen either of these guys fight. I did watch the Road to UFC, and I'm pretty sure I've seen them fight. I just don't. They're not ringing a bell. I'm gonna pick Dalmar to get this one done. Has that experience in Eternal, very reputable MMA promotion. Both men on 4-fight win streaks. This should be a really fun fight. All right, so we get into Con Ofley versus not the RZA, not the Jizza, but the Yizza here at featherweight. Con Ofley, if you remember, he's the guy who got brutally knocked out by Myron Santos in the tough final. What was it, last year? I can't remember, 2 years ago. But anyway, he is 12-4-1, 3-2 in his last 5. His last 2 losses came to the aforementioned Myron Santos and then Muhammad Naimov. But he did get his sub win over Ricardo Ramos just 3 months ago, so being very active. Yeah, he's plus 160, 32 years old, 5'7", and 66-inch reach. For Yizza, he is 4-1 in his last 5. His record is 26-5, so a little bit more experience, a couple years younger. His last loss came to Gabriel Santos. For that, he was on a 3-fight win streak. He actually won the Road to the UFC tournament last year, which is strange. He's even no, sorry. This is not the tournament anymore. He won the Road to the UFC last year. He got into the UFC. Gabriel Santos beat him via decision, and then he just got a knockout win over Weston Wilson, which, by the way, knocking out Weston Wilson is not an accomplishment. That guy's pretty bad in the UFC, so I don't really rate that win very highly. And then for Con Ofley, subbing Ricardo Ramos, he's another guy that's not very good. So this is bottom of the barrel, in my opinion, featherweights matching up here. I would say that Con Ofley relies really heavily on the grappling game. You see he's got a lot of submission wins in Hex. And then obviously his only win in the UFC came via submission. So I think Yizza is a lot more fun of a fighter. He's got wins in a lot of different ways. Slightly younger. Again, just more fun to watch fight. Con Ofley definitely down to scrap too, but he has a very clear route to victory, and that is the wrestling, the submission game, which I don't really think he's that great at getting the fight to the ground. I'm going to be picking Yizza here. I don't know if him knocking out Weston Wilson is a declaration of what he's going to do in this fight, but I'm not going to rule out the possibility. I'm going to pick Yizza via decision in this one. Let's see what's going on here. What do we got? Good to see Sniff. He said he's training sumo. Rad. Inspector Deku. Yes. All right. Yeah, good to see Sniff. All right, Jonathan Mikulev versus Oban Elliott. This is at 170. Speaking of Oban Elliott, he's on this card. Mikulev, 8-1. When did he debut? Hold on a second. Let me see. When I think he debuted. Oh no, okay. He's the guy who got a quick sub on Contender, and he came in the UFC, fought Kevin Jousset, was a big underdog, I believe, and then he took Kevin Jousset to town, easily beat him. I don't remember the fight exactly, but I know that it was a very dominant decision win. So that was really surprising. He's minus 145 as the favorite. 26 years old, 6 foot tall, and a 77-inch reach. And then Oban Elliott, coming off that loss to Sukyoung Ko, he's 12-3. Man, this guy was looking like the truth, I thought. I mean, he was looking really, really good. Great on the mic. And then Sukyoung Ko just dominated him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he did it with the wrestling. I kind of need to look up his... I think he might have had one fight right after that. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Philip Rowe. He's the guy he wrestled. And then Oban Elliott, he kind of had a really good all-around performance against him. I think Oban Elliott's a strong grappler. I think that if I remember Mikulev, that was kind of how he beat Kevin Jousset, because Kevin Jousset, city kickboxing guy, good on the feet, but Mikulev showed a lot of really good stuff in that fight. I'm very, very surprised, and that actually pushes him to be a favorite in this fight. I have a lot of faith in Oban Elliott. I think he's still a really good fighter. Another very well-rounded fighter. So this should be a really sick fight here at welterweight. Welterweight's very hot right now, and I think that the new crop of guys is very exciting. I think these two, you know, really show that. So I'm going to pick Oban Elliott to actually bounce back, and maybe the odds makers can, humble themselves a little bit on Jonathan Mikulev. But again, he dominated Kevin Jousset, a guy who I thought would beat him. So he could prove me wrong again here. Oh man, what? Jeez, this fight right here. You're going Oban, okay. All right, so Jacob Malkoun versus Torres Finney. Wow. This is a fight at middleweight. I'm not going to spend too much time on this fight. I just need to refresh myself. So, Jacob Malkoun 3-2 in his last 5, and been very inactive. If you remember, at one point he was Robert Whittaker's main training partner. And Malkoun been an okay fighter. You can see win loss. Fought Brendan Allen, lost. Beat Nick Maximov. I don't know if you guys remember Nick Maximov, but he was in the UFC for a hot second. Illegal. Okay, so he hit Cody Brundage in the back of the head, made him quit, and then he did knock out Petrosky, and that was nearly 2 years ago. But Malkoun, very inactive fighter. In my opinion, kind of a boring wrestler. But the guy's got some skill. I mean, he's a very good wrestler. At that, he's minus 150 as the favorite. I don't understand why. I mean, you know what? This is actually a decent fight now that I think about it. Malkoun got a lot of experience. He's finished some dudes. He's fought really good guys in the division, and he's only 30. But I mean, his lack of activity and all that stuff is kind of shocking to me. Torres Finney, the underdog in this fight, 11-0. Everybody hates Torres Finney. They say he's the most boring fighter they've ever seen. He did win a split over Robert Valentin. Got the TKO on Contender, and if you remember, Dana White made him fight again on Contender because he outpointed Cam Rouston in a very boring fight. But again, in my opinion, actually, he's been on Contender Series 3 times. Torres Finney should be a favorite in this fight. I think he's a very, very dominant wrestler. I know that the Robert Valentin fight, I think he struggled to get Valentin down, and there was not a lot of strikes landed in that fight. But I mean, to me, Torres Finney being disrespected here once again. He's got another pretty good grappler going up against him. I think it does create an interesting challenge for him, on paper. But Torres Finney is going to handle Jacob Malkoun. Would love to see him get a TKO here. I think that Malkoun's pretty experienced and might hold him off. And then, I don't know. This is a good setup fight for Torres Finney for hardcores to see if he can take on a UFC vet. Obviously, beating Robert Valentin in his last fight, he was kind of a newcomer. But I think this does set up an interesting scenario where, hey, if Torres Finney could finish a guy like Jacob Malkoun, I think that'd be a big statement because not even Brendan Allen was able to finish him when they fought. I mean, I know it was a long time ago, but yeah, Torres Finney, man, should be a favorite. Can't believe he's the underdog on this fight. Kind of crazy to me. So I'm picking Torres Finney to win via decision. Tell me how proud you are of me. I'm very proud of you, Dirty Hippo. Very proud. I think he is still Rob's training partner. I just remember at one point they had mentioned, that's how I heard about him, right? Was that he was Robert Whittaker's main training partner. Robert Whittaker, obviously one of my favorite fighters. So that I was just kind of recounting how I first heard of him. Good to see Bleachy. Says he can't be in chat too long. Have this on during work. Your sister saw Finney at DC's wrestling event about a month ago at Gilroy High School, and I am not a fan. All right, Bleachy. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, man. I hope that work goes well. Um, he arguably beat Allen. Yeah, I mean, a guy who's fought at the top of the division and is a decent fighter, but lack of activity and lack of being interesting in any sort of way, I think, hinders his career a lot. Hence why they're putting him up against a guy like Torres Finney, where he could get absolutely cooked. Sniff says that Rouston is going to beat Cody's ass. That is our next fight. It's Cam Rouston. By the way, you ever looked at Cam Rouston? Guy looks like fucking Stretch Armstrong. He's got these like incredibly long limbs, kind of a small head. But yeah, he is going up against Cody Brundage, or as many people like to call him, Cody Bumridge. Cam Rouston, 5-fight winning streak, 13-3, minus 330 as the favorite. Biggest favorite we've seen on the card so far. He is 31 from Sydney. He's 6'3", 75-inch reach, trains at CKB. And then just look at this for Cody Brundage. How do you get a last 5 fights like this, bro? He's 11-7-1. Look at this. He's 1-1-2 in his last 5. I don't know why that one of these draws or no contest doesn't show up on his record, but yeah, how are you 1, 2 and 1 2 in your last 5 fights? His last loss was that split decision to Eric McConico, which I can't remember that fight. I felt like Cody won. He's plus 250 as the underdog, 31 just like Cam, 6 foot tall, 72-inch reach. Trains out of Factory X, who actually is a decent they're a decent camp, but listen, Cam, let's take a look at his last 5 fights really quick. So yeah, submission ace, calf slicer, RNC, TKO, and then that TKO on Petrosky, which was very shocking to me because Petrosky is a very strong grappler. Cam, if I remember, I think he either took him down with ease and then landed the ground and pound, or he knocked him down and then ground and pounded him. I think he took him down with ease and then just like all of a sudden started rifling off shots, and that was a very surprising win. Because again, I think Petrosky is a very strong grappler. And you know what? I think Cody Brundage is a decent grappler as well, and Cody Brundage has some power in his hands as well. I think that Sniff is correct in his assessment that Cam Rouston's probably going to cook Cody Brundage. The question is, how does he do it? Submission or KO, right? I mean, I don't know, man. I think maybe you go like first round sub or maybe second round KO. I'll probably go with that first round sub. Maybe the TKO. I think he's gonna get back to his submission game because we haven't seen much of it in the UFC. So I'm gonna go Cam Rouston with that first round sub. I think that his grappling's gonna be very strong and he's gonna get Cody to the ground. Late first round sub, probably lock in that maybe we're going arm triangle. Cody Brundage is gonna be laying in guard. He's gonna get arm triangled by Cam Rouston. That's what I'm going with. All right, they should feed Vittori to Whitaker for his retirement fight so he can go out on a high note. I love that idea, Dirty Hippo. He looks weird as fuck. He really does. That was the worst Australian accent I ever heard, mate. That means he's got to win. Andre didn't even shoot. Andre is a better version of Bumdage. That's a new one. To anybody who's actually betting on the road UFC fights, Michael says, stop it, get some help. All right. I think they're better than most fights on the card, not gonna lie. They will be a very fun portion of the card. Make no mistake about it. Road UFC fights. Okay. Junior Tafa, he's back, baby. He's back. Versus Billy Elicana. Why in the absolute fuck and all things that are sacred is Junior Tafa still on the UFC roster? I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you. It's because, you know what? It's because Junior Tafa The guy likes to bang. The guy likes to bang. They're putting him up against Billy Elikana because he's a guy who has kind of outperformed to our expectations. Um, so yeah, you look son of Susie. Wow, what a nickname for Billy Elikana. If you look at his last 5 though, got some wins in PFL, went to lights out. He got subbed by Bogdan, but that was a pretty fun fight before he ended up losing. Now he's on a 2-fight win streak. Beat Ivo Aslan in a very boring fight, and then got the submission over Kevin Christian just 2 months ago. So very, very active. He's minus 220 as the favorite, 30 years old, 6'3", 77-inch reach. Mr. Junior Tafa. I mean, he knocked out Pacaporta at one point. 2-3 in his last 5, by the way, but took that L to De Lima, got heel hooked by Walter Walker. Knocked out Sean Sharaf, who is not good at all. And then he got a submission win over a man named Tuco Tacos. Or sorry, he got submitted by Tuco Tacos. Tuco Tacos fucking sucks ass. So like, I mean, listen, like, he's plus 180 as the underdog, 29 years old, 6'3", 72-inch reach. Junior Tafa's got a lot of power in his hands, man. He loves the kickbox. If Billy Elikana has an ounce of fight IQ, he will take down Junior Tafa and he will ground and pound this man to no end. Does he have a submission win? Nah. Oh, he does. His last fight was a fucking sub. So yeah. I mean, Billy Elikana, I'll pick him to probably finish the fight in the first. If he doesn't get a little gun shy like he did against Ebo, that's the issue, right? You could see him getting a little gun shy, this fight getting dragged out, and then Junior Tafa getting some stupid ass win via points. God damn it, this fight. This is a tricky fight, but I do have faith in Billy. You know what? I think I'm actually gonna walk back my first round KO. That's what he should do. We'll see if he gets gun shy again, like he did against Ebo. I'm gonna pick Elikana decision. Just because I don't really know how the fight is exactly gonna go. Can't stand Junior Tafa in the UFC anymore, man. I don't know why he's still here. And I hope that Billy Elikana can get this one done. So it's like an Irish accent, fuck the Scouser accent, and then it got paid to act on a film set in Australia. They keep Tafa brothers in case any sumo fans are watching. Well, if you remember, Junior Tafa is like completely slimmed down, like he's been smoking crack. Finally got Michael Aswell Jr. predictions. It's not me. Good to see you, Chris. Yo, Bleachy with the 10? Bro, you're already a member of the channel, man. Chill out, man. It's all good. This is a predictions video, dude. But thank you so much for the 10. Much appreciated to you. Bleach, you've been rocking with us for a couple weeks now. Super glad to have him in the chat. Tafa must be big in Australia because I do not see the appeal. Australians don't like Australians. Nobody likes Junior Tafa. I think what it is that he's just down to fight. Dana White loves fighters that are just willing to fight at any time, and I think that the promotion, he's garnered favor with the promotion. That's the only reason, only logical reason why he still exists as far as the UFC is concerned. The next fight, Killin Salkild versus Jamie Malarkey. Salkild obviously got that insanely nasty KO over Nasrat Hakparas last year. Should have been KO of the year if it wasn't. Jamie Malarkey, a very, very fun fighter. A guy who for a long time had the rep of like get or get got, and it's been get got for him for a while. But there is a fight. If you look, I mean, he's getting decision wins. He's getting knocked out. He's getting decision wins. And he beat Rolando Bedoya, who I thought would slime Malarkey. I honestly genuinely think like that Malarkey is starting to change up his game plan. And I'm not gonna, I think this is the only comparison that comes to mind. I'm not saying Jamie Malarkey is like this fighter, but Andrei Arlovsky, a guy who was considered washed and chinny for years, retooled his game, started going to decisions. Malarkey, I think, deserves some credit for kind of not being as reckless and being able to get decision wins. Now he still takes a lot of damage. And then for Salkild, like a guy who I wasn't really like super high on, and then he got that nasty KO of Nazrat. Now that fight didn't go very long, and he just caught him. He knocked out Anshul Jubli, but it's like, bro, like I could knock out Anshul Jubli. I think I did the other day when I went down to the Indian market. Um, I was, I'm kind of short, so I was like trying to get some stuff off the top shelf, and this box of Indian food fell down, and it fell on the guy behind me. It was Anshul Jubli. He was knocked out cold. So it's not like it's hard to do that. So I don't know if I'm really like. I have high hopes for Salkild. Highlight Rio KOs. That's always cool. But like, I don't really know. Is he just like a knockout dude now? Like, I don't know. Um, with all that being said, I think that he will eventually find the knockout shot on Malarkey. I'm gonna pick it to come in the first round. But honestly, don't be surprised if like again, Malarkey's crafty. He's getting crafty. Being in the UFC for a little while now. Don't be surprised if he drags it out past the first into the third. Um, decision. I think Salkild wins this fight, no doubt about it. But just Malarkey, I think he's retooling his game a little bit. He still could get slimed out really quick, but no, don't be surprised because Malarkey is kind of a deceptively tricky fighter to fight. But yeah, I'm still picking Salkild to knock him out. You never know. You never know though. He's a D. Oh god. Tafa is only still in the UFC because he's the Rock's brother. Facts. Accidentally KO'd him. It's not your fault. No, he's just really chinny. But yeah. Anyway, I think that don't be surprised. People might be like, "Oh, fraud checked." If Salkild goes to decision with Malarkey or something like that, it's like, no, dude. Like, Malarkey's decent. I'm still picking him to get knocked out in the first round. But I just don't know. I'm not extremely sold yet on Salkild. So, and he's still very young. All right, this fight's really stupid, but it's the fun kind of stupid, right? Tai Tuivasa versus Taliesin Teixeira, and look at this, look at this shit right here. What the fuck happened to fucking Tai Tuivasa? He had that war with Cyril Gane. That was 3 years ago. Fucking hey, I'm getting old. Yeah, and that was an awesome fight. He did end up getting KO'd. He was on quite the run before then, but then he fights Pav, gets viciously knocked out. Fights Volkov, gets Ezekiel choked. And then you start seeing him fight a little more infrequently, right? He gets subbed by Tybura, and then has that god awful fight with Rosenstruck, in which Rosenstruck got cut. Thank God, he's boring as fuck too. Everybody loves to defend Rosenstruck, and I'm like, no. If he's boring, he's fucking boring. Get him out of there. Tai Tuivasa comes to bang, but he's getting really fat. I don't know, man. He gains a lot more mass every time we see him on camera. I'm glad he's fighting again. And I think the UFC kind of sees like, okay, Derek Lewis knocked out Taliesin. Maybe Tai can do it too. Tai definitely has lost a step. Guy's been at it fight shape for quite some time as well. I'm not sure where he's at mentally. Taliesin Teixeira, I think he's coming to bang. But he did suffer his very first loss, and it was a KO via Derek Lewis. Meat. Meat claws. Pause. Is Derek Lewis meat? Oh, God. Anyway. But no, listen, like, I'm hoping and I'm praying Tai Tuivasa gets viciously knocked out here because it would be funny. And I'm tired of this guy drinking out of a goddamn shoe every time he wins. All right, I don't want to see no damn shoeies on this motherfucking card. It's unsanitary. It's gross. Don't drink beer out of a goddamn shoe. And if you do, make sure it's like a cool looking shoe that's brand new. I don't know, man. I mean, I could see Ty still, mustering up some knockout shot against Taliesin, who we did see get knocked out in his last fight. But I'm picking Taliesin via KO first round. I'm really hoping this is what happens, but this is going to be a god awful sloppy fight if not. So, I'm hoping that it's not terrible. Um be honest, you saw an Indian man at the Indian store and you dropped the people's elbow on him. Oh god. There's so many D1 mismatches. Rosenstruck had the funniest fight ever though. Which one? Taliesin when you wanted a daughter named Allison, but you got a tall son instead. Yes. Tafa and Greg Hardy fights ironically this week. Yeah, crazy. Tai Tuivasa, that's the Dolphins quarterback, right? Isn't his name like Tai Taglianovia or some shit like that? I don't know. You got CTE too. All right. Your next fight, Fiziev and Mauricio Hoofy. Very interesting fight here. Let's break it down real quick. Fiziev 2-3 in his last 5. 3-fight losing streak came to Justin Gaethje once. Mateus Gamrot with that weird ass. Remember that shit? Remember when he fucked his leg up, then he was out for a while, and then who does he fight after that? Justin Gaethje. It's like, can we really hold that 3-fight losing streak against him? I don't know. He beat Bahamundes in his last fight, which, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Fiziev wrestle him in that fight? Like shockingly, and you're like Fiziev wrestling? Is that correct? So pick him. 32 years old is the age for Fiziev, 5'8", 71.5-inch reach. And then Hoofy, looking like the truth. Everyone was really high on him. He got that KO over Bobby Green that kind of looked weird, but it was sick. And then BSD came in there and bullied him 4 months ago. So he is back fighting Fiziev, another really highly touted lightweight. He's 29, 5'11", 75-inch reach. And look at that reach disparity. The kicks from Roofy are very, very nice. Not too sure about his hands. Like the guy's kicks a lot. Speed is the name of the game for Fiziev. Low kicks can try to take out Hoofy. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think Fiziev gets KO'd here. I could see the fight being close, but ultimately, I think that the reach of Hoofy is a big factor here, and I think that Hoofy's speed with the kicks can probably match Fiziev, and Fiziev's gonna have to get inside the pocket to really like land some damage with the hands. I think that Hoofy fights really, really on point on the feet. Has kind of a karate like back, in and out of the pocket style. I think it's going to give Fiziev a lot of problems here. We've seen how karate versus Muay Thai has been going lately for the Thais in one championship. I think this is an interesting fight, and I love this fight. I think Hoofy can bounce back though. I think he's going to get the decision win in this one. Just the kicks and the speed. Yeah, he was shooting a little. Okay. I think that if Fiziev, because I feel like the style matchup is similar to Bahamundes, right? But I don't know. I think BSD is just a really strong grappler, and like I said, he bullied him. I don't see Fiziev doing that to him, right? Taking him down, submitting him. It's not gonna happen. It's very, very unlikely. This is a fight of the night contender, close fight. I like this fight a lot, man, but I do think that ultimately, like, Fiziev has lost a step, and I think Hoofy is still on the come up despite getting bullied by BSD in their last fight. He didn't really bully him. Really, because he finished him with a face crank, so I don't really see how you could calculate that he didn't bully him. It was closer than people think to me. He got fucking submitted, dog. What are you talking about, dude? I think you're absolutely wrong. I think he got totally bullied in his last fight against BSD. And he fucking got submitted. How was the fight close if he got submitted? The Thai fighters have already been in like 900 amateur fights before they are 10 years old. By the time they fight the karate guys, they got nothing left in the tank. It's not 100% true. Gang, I'm talking about the other rounds. All right, fair enough. All right, we go to our next fight. Dan Hooker versus BSD. Listen, I fucking love Dan Hooker. Guy's awesome. How could you not love Dan Hooker? Guy's dope as fuck. Good on the mic. Fun fight style. Aside from that time, he went down to featherweight and got bullied by Arnold Allen. Ugh. I mean, every performance he had, he brings it. BSD, a guy who climbed up really quick, fought Dustin Poirier, got knocked out, and then had that fight with Moicano where, God, Moicano mauled him, dude. That was fucking crazy. But anyway, 3-fight win streak against Prepolek, Houfi, and Benil Dariush. Now they're giving another old head and Dan Hooker, who I have kind of thought has been washed for a long time. What is his path to victory here? Because you see he's fighting the top of the lightweight division for a while, jumped down to featherweight, and then came back and kind of clowned on Poyes. God, that was 3 years ago. That feels like yesterday. Had a war with Jalen Turner, which caused Jalen to think about retirement. Had a split with Gamrot. That was a really fun fight. And then he got bullied by Armin 2 months ago, which was kind of hilarious. He did absolutely nothing. He did fucking nothing to Armin, dude. And that was kind of embarrassing. And I'm like, dude, it's Armin, but I don't think BSD is going to be as dominant in this fight. I think that we've seen a lot of BSD's grappling chops as of late. How does Dan Hooker beat BSD? I mean, he's very good from distance. He has nice teep kicks. Has a really, really on point jab. And those knees. Remember when people used to talk about that heading into every Dan Hooker fight? The knees. He sent somebody's mouthpiece into the front row. Was it Gilbert Burns? He viciously knocked somebody out with the knees. I mean, the knees, but ultimately, I have no hope in Dan Hooker in this fight. He is capable of producing a very fun fight. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I was kind of thinking this way heading into the Gamrot fight, though, right? Like, Gamrot's gonna bully him. I think BSD is a much more well-rounded fighter than Gamrot. Does have knockout power. I'm picking BSD here for sure. Dan could surprise us. Again, I haven't. I was surprised by the Gamrot win, but I've thought that the amount of damage Dan has taken, and also let's not forget he just fought 2 months ago against Armin, in which Armin bullied him on the ground, but also beat him up on the feet. Did he even land a punch on Armin Tsarukyan? So I think he's heading into this fight damaged goods already. I got BSD to win here. I don't know if he'll knock out Dan Hooker, who is pretty hard to knock out unless you're Arnold Allen, and Dan Hooker cannibalized himself. I don't know. I'm picking BSD via decision. Also, what's the age difference? 5 years. Yeah, I got BSD here, guys. I know a lot of people don't like BSD. I got a lot of hope in him, though, that he will definitely beat Dan Hooker, a fighter who I really fucking like. If you've never seen Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier at the Apex, that might be one of the best Apex fights that's ever taken place. Go check that out. All right, let's check it out. Just ask Chatri if you don't believe me. I'm picking BSD, but I got the feeling that I had with Patty and Justin. I picked Patty so I can see Dan winning. Nobody fights harder than someone fighting for their life. Chatri probably. Oh my god. I have BSD was Burns. Dan is so fun to watch. Never in a boring fight. Yeah, right? His takedown defense is pulling Gillies, which is dumb as fuck to do against BSD. That was so... I like that he did that, but also I was like... Because there was this split-second moment where I was like, oh my god, he jumped Gilly on Armin. I was like, well, that was really stupid. So yeah, there you go. That's my pick for that one. All right, and then your main event, Volk versus Diego Lopes 2. This fight's stupid. This fight's really stupid. Diego Lopes should have fought Yair Rodriguez, right? And Diego Lopes getting that win against John Silva. I guess they're like, that's enough. We'll put you in a title fight against the guy who fucking beat you. You know? It's like, this is not even a year ago. It wasn't even a year ago. And we're seeing this again. And they're just banking on Diego Lopes knocking out Volk because Volk's, getting older. We saw him take those 2 losses back to back to Islam and Ilya. You know, 37 years old, 5'6". I mean, listen, you guys can have your thoughts on how Volk versus Diego 1 went. What I saw is Volk controlling the entire fight easily. Diego Lopes hunting him down. But by the 4th and the 5th round, Diego Lopes had started to kind of figure out how to cut Volk off and started landing some good shots on him. I think if you can pick up right where he left off there, you could see a much different fight. And you could see a 3rd round, maybe TKO from Diego Lopes. I'm very conflicted on this fight. I'm very biased against Volk. How could you not love Volkanovski, dude? This guy's fucking awesome. Has an argument for one of the best. I mean, he is one of the best featherweights ever. Him and his coach Eugene. Well, actually, doesn't he even train with Eugene? Eugene might be in his camp for this. I don't know. Dirty Hippo in the chat pointed out that he has been filming a movie lately. I guess he's playing some guy in Street Fighter. That's not going to play in very well. I want Volkanovski to win this fight. I really, really do. I like Diego Lopes. I don't have a problem with him. He's just not one of my favorite fighters. Like, I know people will kind of, I think people kind of hype him up way too much, but he is a very fun fighter. UFC definitely wants him as champ. Fair enough. He's moonlighting as a Mexican when he's Brazilian. Make no mistake about it. This is really, really funny to me. But yeah, no, I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, it's like you either go Volk decision or Diego KO. And I think that both options are viable. I'm gonna ride with Volk, pick him by decision. Just beat this guy not even a year ago. I think that he can make adjustments to make what happened in the 4th and 5th round in their last fight better, but it's like that ticking time bomb of a chin that Volkanovski doesn't have anymore. Diego Lopes just needs to crack it one time, man. I think he can do it. So I'm going to be crossing my fingers, hoping and praying Volk makes it through the fight. And it's not like I was a little nervous in their last fight, but I'm going to be riding with Volk. I think it's very likely Diego could get a KO on him, though. So there you go. That is the full card breakdown, my friends. Yes, sir. Make sure to join the Topology League and get your picks in. Before Saturday, again, Topology League. Trying to give you guys $600 before the year is over. So be sure to join the membership Topology League. Scroll through the community post. It should be on there. It's going to say Topology League for members. If you're a member of the channel, going to give you $400 in total this year, $100 every quarter. So please be sure to check that out. If you're not a channel member, join the regular Topology League in the YouTube channel description. All right. People forget BSD, blah, blah, blah. I got my GOAT, Lopes. All right. Dan said Armin broke his nose when he headbutted him at the face-off. Armin is a little stuck up. Wow. Okay. Yair ducked it. Poirier versus Hooker is how new fans saw Patty Gaethje. Totally. Lopez is top 3 for me. I could definitely sacrifice my. Okay. Diego is going to get reckless and Volk is going to use the force. So is he Yoda? Are you watching Berkram's fight Saturday? Who is that? Who the hell is Berkram? The fuck is that? I don't know who that is, Toxic. Toxic, please check out the community post. The last community post. It's got a full schedule of what I'm doing. And then I also posted it in the Discord. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Mirzataliev? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. We're gonna check out. I mean, it's a good time to kind of mention what I'm covering, I guess, this weekend. Let's do this. Got a lot of fights this weekend, all at random times, and so this is kind of what I'm gonna go with as far as coverage is concerned. Let's see. Stupid ass StreamYard is being a bitch. Somebody's texting me. All right. So this is what we got for you. Now there is Inca tonight. Feel free to watch that main card on YouTube or prelims on YouTube at 9. UFC Fight Pass at 10. So what we're gonna do? I do have to work on Friday. Oh wait, there's a Friday fights. Fuck. They just added this shit out of nowhere. Damn it. Fuck. I might try to work Thursday. Maybe we'll cover one. I didn't even realize they were on. We might be covering one, possibly. I want to watch this though. I want to watch this Peak Fighting Championship. Look how many goddamn fights are on this card. So we might cover this Friday. And then we're going to stay up. Oh, sorry. We're going to cover DBX after that. I put up a poll in Discord and have people vote on events they want to see. And this was the one that won out on Friday. By the way, my local Front Street Fights having an event. Shout out to Front Street Fights at CenturyLink Arena. We're going to be watching Eternal on Saturday morning. And then we're either going to watch Infusion, Kickboxing, RCC Bare Knuckle, or we're going to watch UAE Warriors. So, and then I'm going to sleep until the UFC starts. And then I'll either be doing a dual coverage stream for the UFC, or I'll be doing dual coverage for UFC and the Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson card, or I'll wait till the UFC is over and then just cover the last little bit of that card. I haven't really made a determination on that yet. Yeah, it's looking like they're starting about the same time. So I'm hoping that this card is actually over before the UFC ends. But we'll find out. And then after that, we're going to be checking out, I think, just the 2 Crush cards. So yeah, Crush is having one event this weekend. Just kidding. They're having 2 events this weekend. So I'll be covering both of those back to back. So there you go. That's my streaming schedule for the week. All right. Armin is... All right. Dirty Hippo, not a fan of Armin Sarkian. Good to see you, T1. I'm actually about to end the stream. So all you guys have a great rest of your evening or day, wherever you're at. And go check out the community post tab for everything I'm covering if you're not in the Discord. And if you are, check that out. And if there's something we can squeeze in, give a suggestion. All right. Peace out, guys. I am going to wrap this show up. Peace.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up.